Hi and hello and welcome to episode 6 of season 2. Allegedly, I don't really know how we broke up the seasons.
It's like 18 or something. I don't know.
Decisions were made without me. I'm Fred Slow. You are Gabe Gambino. Of course, I'm the last professional promoter, and you are liked by the fan base of Duke City Championship.
For some reason.
We're going to kick this one off early because we know people in the real show, they kind of sprinkle in. So that's their thing. Keep in mind before we do our next live event, 2 weeks from the time of this recording, that's April the 24th at the historic El Rey Theater. Fun Wednesday show. Fun fact, Gabe, it's currently tracking to be the most tickets ever sold for Duke City Championship.
Oh, really?
Event. Yeah. So if you are a person that says Wednesdays are not for wrestling, then I would
be wrong.
I'd call you a liar. I would say you're currently a liar. Let me fix something real quick on my audio. Did that make any change for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, substantially better. It looked like there was a little reset whenever my mixer came unplugged. So we're doing it again. Sorry. So catch me up here, Gabe. So this is, I want to make sure I got it right. This is season 2, episode 17. And this is one that had that real fun tag team in it. Light and Magic versus the Clown Cats. We had special guest commentator Sizzle. It was real good. So here we go.
You know, it's as much as Jay Sizzle sucks, he's pretty good on the mic, you know.
We had different opinions. We're underway.
Bad Blood finally reached the boiling
obviously,
point.
you know, we do hear Fernando with the voiceover.
Infamous
Tyler Copeland. So these, all right. So the recording on this was
this was February show.
No, I don't think you're correct. Yeah, this is the recap of the last February one. So the way we start off the episodes is we recap the previous episode in case, you're not caught up or whatever. I think it's a cool little idea. I've talked about this before on the Real Show. And those tuning in, I know I haven't been on the Real Show in a while. I'm in the ownership group of Duke City Championship Wrestling. You're in the annoying ship group of Duke City Championship Wrestling.
That's very correct.
And this recap thing I actually stole from a 90s cartoon I used to watch called Exo Squad. So there used to be this cartoon called Exo Squad, and at the beginning it would go, previously on Exo Squad. And then it would be like whatever storylines you needed to know for that episode, right? So if like the bad guys were up to something, it was about like space or something. It was like Swords and Sandals, but in space.
That's right.
So anyways, that's when we started doing this. And Fernando was like, hey, brother, it might just be a little bit easier if I go through and do the last episode. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll just do it that way then, because we'll do the easier thing. So there you go. But yeah, so recapping the last of the February event. And at the time of this, Gabe, we are currently 1 month away from the 1-year anniversary of Duke City Championship Wrestling.
That's
and the
right.
first show that we had in May of 2023 at the historic El Rey. So time has just kind of flown for this promotion.
That's back before my time with the company.
Better time.
So that's when it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Fernando's voice is too much here or not, but we'll take him down to the very bottom.
It's very sensual.
Yeah. Tyler Copeland returned. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, he's got the narrating quality that I want him to read my eulogy when I die, you know?
Yeah, I want to hear that soon.
Yeah, like next year.
That might maybe this year, player cards right. Yeah.
Hey,
how about this? I haven't been on in like a month on this show, but when Thunder came out with the Conquistador helmet thing, I was, because Thunder, you might not know, but he's Hispanic. And
right.
It's like that's a super fun heel thing to be like, and also not sound like weird and racist, but I'm not from the Southwest, so I don't really know the difference between like Hispanic and Spaniard and Mexican and New Mexican and Texan and native Texan, native New Mexican, native Mexican. I don't know all these things, right? So is Fernando leaning into it? Is Fernando bucking it? Or not Fernando, excuse me. Thunder, you don't really know, so it's however you want to interpret, and that's such a good job at his character, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually was a fan of the choice, but also, being Latino is it's like being a metalhead, Yeah. Do you like doom metal or speed metal or,
Yeah, why do all these
we're all
white
kinds
people-
of different flavors.
Why do they keep calling us X? This doesn't make sense. So we've talked about this a couple times. This is the stupidest start to the show that we've ever had. So Fernando,
Oh, really?
who-
The funeral wasn't the
no,
or the Santa Claus thing.
this backstage. All right, so this is too much here. So so Sizzle and Mexplex do their absolute best to maximize their TV time. Like these are two dudes that get it. They know there's a couple hundred people at the El Rey, but they know there's the possibility of thousands on the YouTube, and they jump out there. But this at the time of recording was right after the UNM Lobos, which made the NCAA tournament for the first time in like 10 years. This is right after they lost that opening round to the Clemson Tigers. So they came out with the Clemson Tiger mascot head deal. Just really smart heel work.
Yeah, it's great. It's like definitely too much time on their hands. I feel I wish, the Fred Slows and the Gabe Gambinos, we're busy doing our jobs.
Correct.
Which
We're
is
the
more
two
than
guys.
one. We're out here just doing jobs.
Yes.
And these guys, I don't know how they have the budget and the time to just, oh my God.
Well, and then so this is one of homies over here.
That's right.
And then homie obviously has been harassed. Okay, that's all right. That's kind of a weird one. So homie has become like a center stage and storyline in Duke City Championship Wrestling. His homies are center stage and storyline. I was worried about my pop-up back there, but it looks like it survived. Like that Carlos Candelaria. Okay, so there's the star of the show right there.
How was that? How was the beer? I got to know.
So I'm not trying to use anyone's names. That's not part of the promotion on here, but you get the idea, right? Like, so homies are in this. So the first thing you see here when Thunder comes out is that's a brand new ring.
That is, and I think from what I know, it's lighter. It's easier to move. But we're definitely we're looking to splatter some logos on there too.
Yeah, we got some ideas.
Do the old Logan Paul thing.
Yes, put it right dead center. The good look here, good Thunder shirt, good Lightning shirt for Thunder, like coming out to meet the crowd. We had NWA out a couple weeks ago, and NWA Matthew Robles already in the ring. And this is a cold start too. Like I didn't introduce this on the broadcast, right? So this is Sale in the ring. I'm by myself at the broadcast booth. Thunder, our champion, obviously, and Matthew Robles, who immediately goes to the microphone. He's so very good at it. I don't know if there's very many people at the different levels of professional wrestling that do this part of professional wrestling better than he does.
I see him like just about every weekend. He's in a different promotion.
Yeah.
And he's just the same, scumbag everywhere he goes.
I agree.
And then he was on CNN too.
Yeah, he was at WrestleCon over the weekend in Philadelphia. I went to WrestleMania last week, and I do a bunch of stuff with the WWE, so I was out there hanging out with them. And Matthew's out there doing his thing, and he's hard to catch up with. He's a popular guy, but he's just kind of tremendous in every way that you want to be in the world of heel management. So
he's a legend.
So he's coming out.
Absolutely.
Now this is, I don't know if this is going to translate. So the thing we were trying to do, I'm going to turn this up just a little bit.
He's the man that will protect
We're doing a feed
all our
directly
liberties.
to the broadcast, and we're catching the ambient from the building.
Next,
I think it's
I have one.
because one of the reasons you were going to come on was because of these new production elements that we have in this, starting from the last show in March.
Yeah. Well, when
And
Brian,
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was
like
a smart move. It was suggested to us by Brian Idol, who came out and wrestled Hobo Hank in the February show. And Brian works for NWA, obviously, and he is not just a talent in the ring. And I don't know how much of this needs to be super public, but he handles the affiliate program for NWA, right? So we were talking about, hey, what can Duke City Championship Wrestling do for NWA? What can NWA do for Duke City Championship Wrestling? Classic used carsman stuff. It's like,
Right.
like, oh, you're looking for a promotion? Come with me. It was that kind of thing. And of some of the notes, some of these production stuff is it. So you'll see right here, the video quality itself is even a little higher. So we took our recording and we rendered at a higher capacity than what we normally were, because we were rendering for YouTube usage. We were rendering for mobile
1080,
usage.
right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and we were doing the H.2.64 hertz, whatever, the compatibility thing with
Yeah.
all Apple devices and blah blah blah. And if you super care about this, I could go in the link, but it's not important. So the idea is we did like a maximum rendering on this, which by the way takes considerably longer time. Like there's
Yeah.
there's not a simpler way to say that. And I tell you what, the quality difference is kind of night and day from what we've done in previous episodes, huh?
I definitely have to agree. The sound definitely jumped out at me as well because you can, you want to get that feel that you're like there. And so I feel like every episode always gets better.
Yeah.
But this one is definitely, you feel like you're more in it. You're more a member of the audience rather than.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And
the way it's kind of thrown together as well is I think our production side of it is getting like wildly crisp. It's the guys over at Pro V Networks, they got it down. I think our in-house lighting, Santa Fe Lighting and Sound, has really got the lighting down. The crowd knows and responds. Solly Taylor looking good there. That's an example right there. The lights over the ring are multi-directional, right? So they can be manipulated by our lighting operator, and her name's Bridget, and she's tremendous. And she can spotlight Thunder's stupid bald head or the reflection of the Duke City Championship Wrestling belt. So there's something really cool about that, if you ask me. Here's a good question from Duke City Warriors, which I didn't hit quick enough. You mentioned you got a new ring, so what happens to the old one? The old one still exists. I mean, it's still a ring.
It's used for training.
Yeah, and this is little inside pro wrestling. Hobo Hank and Moshpit Mike and Thunder were in like a 3-way ownership of the other ring, right? This might be incorrect, but it's going to be close to correct. Maybe the last 15 years, maybe longer. Because those 3 cats have been wrestling together for a long time. And they're real good shoot friends, and they've been running different 3-letter promotions for a lot of different years, and they're all just excellent. They're just all excellent dudes. So we were a wrestling promotion for the first 10 months of our existence that didn't own a wrestling ring. We were utilizing Hobo Hank, Thunder, and Moshpit Mike's shared ownership of a ring. And that worked out well for the time it worked out, but it wasn't Duke City Championship Wrestling. We didn't own the ring. So last month, Hobo Hank and I went and we bought the new ring.
Far, did you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we found it on eBay and went out and got it from where we got it, and it's never been wrestled in. You know what I mean? It was bought by like a hobbyist, and their hobby didn't become a profession. And then we bought like a brand new trailer, and so now this is because we don't own the L Ray. We don't own really anything. So the idea is like, what's the value in this company? What's this thing worth? Is it just our ideas? Is it me on the microphone? It's that kind of thing. And now,
right.
We're starting to build up, some assets, which is kind of a cool thing in Duke City Championship Wrestling. So the value is only growing. Speaking of value, and this cat right here is, yeah, he's getting to the point where we need to start thanking him for the house a little bit.
Oh, he is so loved. He's very over. You know, he's and this man,
The live chat's going crazy. We'll just say hi and hello to a handful of people. Solly Taylor with us on the live chat. He is the color commentator of Duke City Championship Wrestling. Duke City Warriors in the chat. Never misses
and a big old heel.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Jay Sizzle for Rizzle is here. So that's Sizzle. He's big part of this episode. So we're excited to get his feedback throughout. Vice Lunatic is in here. So just, big thank you, Fernando Gonzalez, off co-host and co-owner of Duke City Championship Wrestling, and on the chat as well. So Carlos again, who was obviously the opener. Yeah, this is pretty exciting to see the interaction from everyone. So thank you today for that. Little production note here. So, when we're planning out an episode, Gabe, of Duke City Championship Wrestling, it's 4 episodes and 1 TV taping, right?
That's right.
So we sit down and we have a pretty meticulous approach, and it's a formula that we follow, but we've been encouraged to make some modifications from people in the know. And one of those was, I thought for sure Thunder and 2 Scoops were going to fight to start the show. Like when he came out right there, I was like, oh. But then you end up in like a weird kayfabe situation where it's, Thunder can't wrestle not in his gear. Thunder can't he can't wrestle in a button up. Like you end up with all these.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I like about it is it's a nice little build to the right. This is happening a couple episodes away.
Yeah. So and then here I come in for the first time on the broadcast.
Duke City Championship Wrestling is underway at the historic El Rey Theater.
Oh man, what an intro!
A cold start, but it'll end with a hot match.
Oh,
I like that B-roll, man.
I am Fred Slow. Soon to join me at the broadcast counter, Saleh Taylor.
Broadcast
Welcome,
counter. Was I doing
everyone.
stuttering over my words?
Hey, it happens.
You know how much radio I do a week? You know how many hours I talk into a microphone? This
If I had
kid
to
here-
talk as much,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, if I had to talk as much as you do, like for a job,
It's ridiculous.
like I feel like a long day at the barbershop, I usually get real like, you're like, all right, I don't want to talk about anything anymore,
Yeah. I do the radio show Monday through Friday here in Albuquerque, Two Men On, which, thank you for those who cross over from the Duke City audience to our program. And my co-host Van Nunley does an episode of, does one of the matches with us every month. This Chris Watson cat is growing on me. Like, when I first met him, I just thought he was like a too good looking of a dude from Texas. I was like,
buff.
I was like, I've seen a million of these dudes. Like I know the story here. I know where this thing's going to go. He's not that dude at all. He's got a mind for it, man. Like
He's very, very good business mind. I chatted with him in Clovis for like a good 20 minutes or so, and he's just he's like, hey, people love it. Like, I'll do it. It's like he's very game.
Watson's character is interesting because he performs as a heel in so many promotions across the country, and here we have him of a baby face. So I feel like we're getting like new material from him all the time, and I really like that. Fonzie, Chris Watson, super good match we're about to see here. The crowd loves Fonzie in a way to where if you would have asked me 12 months ago and we were sitting down in April to start the idea of this thing, I guess it was a little before March. We started this conversation for wrestling in March of 23. And if Hobo Hank would have said, hey, Fonzie is going to be over with the crowd, I would have said no.
I feel like Albuquerque is a very uniquely suited, for a character like Fonzie because, we have a lot of weird, a lot of local celebrities that are just strange and off the wall. And I feel like he's a good representative of that.
Well, it's very character driven. If you were to come up to me and be like, hey, Fred Slow, love Duke City Championship Wrestling. Love the characters in it. Love the stories that you're telling. Love the show. Love this stuff. Love the bonus stuff. Do you have the best pro wrestlers in the world? And I said, we have the best pro wrestlers for what we're doing. We have the best. Like, would I say our guys would be a fit everywhere? Heck no, I would not say it. Would I say they're the perfect fit right here? Heck yes, I would say that.
Absolutely.
Because this crowd just has an enthusiasm for these dudes. Chris Watson trying to steal my drip here with this jacket. What's up here?
Oh, dude. Yeah, you and I both have a nice. I actually gave my brother my jacket, my Duke's jacket.
Yeah, I got a Duke City Championship Wrestling.
You're the only one of one.
It's one of one. That's what I tell everyone. So the bomber jacket I have is like a one of one. And it's got the embroidered Duke City Championship. I wore it at this show, actually. It's probably going to show up when they show me on camera. And I haven't watched this episode, so bear with me. I don't necessarily recall it all. But that one of one jacket is too fire. When we finally do release it and it's not going to be embroidered. The one we release is going to be screen printed. Like, forget you guys. Like, I'm not I one of one on mine.
No, you get You have the blazer too with the logo on it.
Yeah, I do. Well, and that was so that's like my oldest blue blazer, right? Like any adult should have a blue. Any adult should have a blue blazer. Heck, any adult just should. You got to have a jacket to be able to go to life, right? So I got it embroidered on the left chest, like the old Monday Night Football, Wide World of Sports, ABC Sports announcers, and I wore it to one broadcast. I'm never gonna wear it again. Like
it was so good though.
Yeah, it was so good, but I'm gonna put it like on a mannequin. I'm just gonna let it sit forever because that thing it was just so wild and fun. But it was like
I feel like it's gonna be New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame. It'll be an item one day,
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one from Duke City Warriors. If we sold pink ladies jackets, like from from Greece with the Duke City Championship Wrestling logo.
Man, you know, I gotta say, the ladies are better at buying merch.
Yeah.
Like if you have like a lady shirt, they fly off the shelves.
That was old school into a wrist throw.
Sally Taylor's is so good. So kind of a rule in independent or territory pro wrestling is you don't identify signature moves by their more famed like counterpart, right? So that tightrope on the top rope that Chris Watson did during the broadcast, I go, in some promotions that's been called the last ride, and I'm going, and Sally jumps right in, and Sally's like, "Hey, idiot," and then like he takes over for me, and that's a wild like pro, that I'm so fortunate to be next to in the broadcast booth, because and I don't know if everyone watching this watches other independents, but you'll watch an independent with the broadcast team that's maybe not the most experienced in the world, and they're calling everything a Stone Cold Stunner. They're calling everything a Rock Bottom. They're calling everything Tombstone Pile Driver. They're doing those things, and it's like, well, we don't own those signature names. You know what I mean?
That's right.
We don't have that. Hobo Hank's finisher is a tornado DDT. The pit stop is his. That's his thing. But it's super sweet. All right, so this is a funny one. So Sally Taylor says, "What would y'all do if a fan gets a DCCW tattoo on them?" We're going to have our 1-year anniversary, Gabe, and you're actually a big part of organizing this thing. So we have the venue, Duke City Championship Wrestling at the historic El Rey on, not to spoil it, but it's our May event. I'm just telling you, leave the last weekend of May open. That's all I'm going to say to you. And we're getting Inside Out for a huge Duke City Championship Wrestling birthday party. You know what I mean? We'll cliche, we'll call the event Birthday Bash. You know what I mean? It's going to be that thing. And what I think, it wouldn't be that far-fetched to have someone doing tattoos. And then here it is.
I would do it.
Yeah. Zia Lobo 1 says if you get a tattoo, you get free tickets forever. Not far-fetched. I'm telling you, I got the promo code that can make it happen. So
yeah, that would I'm like, there has to be some kind of like,
we could do some kind of deal, like a fundraiser for it too. We could come up with something really creative.
Yeah, I think if the money went to a good cause, like I would for sure do this. But that's me. I a lot of tattoos I have are jokes between my friends,
Yeah, when I have a bunch of tattoos, but I always wear long sleeves, and all mine are like with people, so it's kind of fun to do that. The beard and mustache throwdown is coming up on April the 19th. We've talked about this kind of a lot on the program.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's 8 days from the time of this recording. It's over at Hollow Spirits. Duke City Championship Wrestling will have a booth. We'll be in attendance. And they were part of our last show. This is the Bearded Villains, right? If we were able to figure out a fundraiser to donate towards their event and their help with like autism, I would be very much in favor of trying to figure out the logistics on that. So that would be a cool thing.
Absolutely. Dude, his gear is so good.
Watson's?
Like, yeah, Fonzie always has great gear too. But the glitteriness, but also I think it's like because I'm half Mexican, I'm just like drawn to roses and stuff.
Yeah, and sandals.
Like
now the distance on this thing, I remember making a point of this on the broadcast. Let's see if I can actually juice me up real quick.
Can we see it? Are we going to see it? He hits it!
Cross ring.
3 count and it's over. Chris Watson goes from one corner to the other.
Chris Watson.
Yeah, not so bad.
Very competitive match.
I don't know if this comment from Mr. Happy is about the back and forth that Two Scoops and Sizzler are having in the chat, or if it's about the audio on the microphone. But we actually tried a brand new input for the audio on the broadcast because Saleh and I had been getting so excited. We were popping the mics. And you know how I feel about poor audio. Like you and I have literally over it.
You'll freak out. You have freakouts.
It's absolutely true. So we did a new input, and we did like some I don't want to get all weird and technical. But we put some compression stuff on it. listening to this one, it's the cleanest one thus far. So the video quality is higher than ever, and the audio quality is higher as ever too.
That was a quick one to start for these boys.
Yeah, I absolutely. That his frog splash, man. That was. He went corner to corner with that thing.
Yeah. I'm a big Adam Merrick fan.
He's so good, dude. He's such a cool dude.
It's been a turbulent start to the evening, Saleh. It's been an intense start.
Look at that.
You're set up
Saleh's like,
you know what's
tonight, which you'll be able to see 3 episodes.
You know what's weird was it had to have been like opposite day because I wore a suit at the show.
Yeah.
What else can we expect to see tonight?
And I was like, sweet. I was like, we'd kind of discussed possibly doing some commentary for me. So I was like, I'm gonna go classy,
Yeah.
And it was the most casual Fred we've ever seen in the program.
Well, and I went with like a higher end pair of Nikes, and like some like dark. And I was like, I think I got the look. Oh, this is good. All right, so, match of the night right here. Like,
so ridiculous.
This thing was so much fun. If you know Valak Vile, pro wrestling. Like if you get Valak Vile's character, if you get the slapstick, if you get the vaudevillian, if you get kind of everything that is, so part of his thing is we drop the lights, He's so stupid.
Very Undertaker in a WrestleMania moment,
God, he's
oh my God.
Dude.
I love it too, because like even backstage, even outside of the show, he does not back down with his crappy magic being good. He doubles down. He's like, no, this was great. I'm doing great.
Well, and it's so funny because Sizzle comes out, right? And no one hands Sizzle a microphone because they would refuse to. So he brings one from the back.
Yeah. And poor Kevin is in a gorilla there. He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, Kevin is he does all of our audio video stuff, and he has been dialed in 2024. He's been very good.
Oh my God, he's been good.
Oh, this is too funny to me right here.
So stupid. I hate the chain. It's like, what's weird is like as much offensive stuff, Matthew Robles could be like, your mom swallows, right? And he said that on our episodes. But it's the chili with the Colorado flag on it that really like just boils my blood,
Oh, it's too funny. Yeah. Bartholomew Bat with us in live chat. He had a friend in from Washington. He's visiting during the last show. He loved everything about it. I tell you what, I've heard a similar energy to that from more than a handful of people. So it's been like if we're so fortunate to have someone in town, this has become a destination, for I don't know what we're visitors, tourists, those coming.
Yeah, my brother came out. He hasn't. I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and he's like, I got to see what this wrestling show's about.
Oh, did you say you said your brother came out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I got to send a thing. I told there's that LGBTQ plus community here in town. I told him I would let him know every time one of them came in. So let me shoot him a text. I got it right here. So just give me.
It's I have mine's pinned. It's pinned to the top of my text. But yeah, my little brother was like, man, I got to catch a DCCW show. He was in town for like a week.
Yeah,
it was so.
Are you kidding me?
When he was watching Delgado come out to Baby Shark,
mm-hmm.
He was like, "This is ridiculous and amazing,"
Yeah, it's too stupid. Yeah, this tag team also is going, I believe, to work really well. These two dudes. Mr. Happy and Delgado, because you look at them and aesthetically, they're incredibly different, right? Like Mr. Happy's almost as tall as me. Delgado is, if not the littlest dude in the building, definitely the littlest competitor, and I little, that's like a forbidden word. Undersized, a mighty
right.
hamster, whatever. You get the point. Like he's physically what every kid is like cheering for. Oh, this is so funny here. So are you up to, do you know Izzy? Are you up to speed on all this?
Now, those are the bare knuckle guys, right?
No, so that's Izzy Rivera. So Izzy Rivera
from the shop.
The shop, yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
So he came to a show. I comped him some tickets to like the February show. And I was like, because I was in there with my lady at the shop eating, which, by the way, if you don't go to the shop, go to the shop.
Yeah.
It's wild good. And it's,
Yeah.
you can like go to a place and it's like, you can tell it's like bullshit high end. You're like,
right.
This is fake fancy. You go to the shop, it's a cool ass like diner cafe energy with the best high end food you can ever put in your mouth. Like wild good. So
it's the opposite of like Olive Garden or
yeah.
So
Izzy, so I'm like, Izzy's like, I want to put the shop's name on it. He's like, I want Adam Merrick to say my business's name, and I'm like, deal, got you. Like, I'm like, but what if we do you one better? I was like, so we're sitting down, I'm going to talk.
So ridiculous.
And it's like, I'm like, you love it. Let's get you in the ring. And you know the rules, the state athletic commission. You got to be certain, like you have to be licensed. There's all these things. But we can go to them with special request. And it's like, well, what if we have a manager that takes a bump, or what if we have a manager that has interference? And they'll let that stuff slide if it's reasonable.
Right.
Approve. Slide's not the right word. Approve. So Izzy Rivera, the owner of the shop, he's like, yeah, I can do like some outside interference, blah blah blah. And I'm like, but with what? And in my head, I'm like, okay, like big ass soup ladle. You know what I mean? I was like having like all these like ideas. And he's like, well, I know a guy that makes stale ass baguettes. I could get a baguette. And I'm like, yeah, no, we could get a baguette.
Dude, that being a weapon is like, so, because I used to work at Jimmy John's. I'm like, the day old bread, could be classified as a weapon.
So he brings it out, but he brings it out like Reservoir Dog style in like a wrapper. And I'm like, okay, like, not where I thought we were going to go with it. So he's managing for Mr. Happy and Delgado because Sizzle was managing for what's Saleh, help me from the chat. What's the tag?
Lights and Magic.
Name? Lights and Magic. Because if I turn up the volume right now, Sizzle has taken over the broadcast.
Cisco's glasses might be 2 points off of this prescription, because that would look illegal. You know nothing about how prescriptions work.
Come on!
Delgado just checked in. Clean tag in the corner. And again, Izzy Rivera, he managing for the what I would call
disgusting.
That was a close fist strike. Come on now.
Sizzle's gonna have to go out there and show this man how to be a manager.
Sizzle, you might need to.
Sizzle, you call that management?
We had to open the air vents at the top of the El Rey for the amount of booze that are going to come in for Sizzle, or excuse me, for Mexplex when he enters
the livest Mexplex, sir. Get it right.
Delgado,
oh my God, dude!
This is the roundhouse kick. He works.
Sizzle. So hey, what's up,
Delgado
Angel?
does make the tag. Vile looks like
there's
he
nothing
might be
funnier
hurt.
than I'm up against like two heel comments.
Well, he was getting attacked with those close fists right now.
Especially that
what
love.
Happened to Law and Order? What happened
that
to
love
Order and
commentating?
Law? Oh, here's a little.
They love making comments.
Yeah. Okay.
And Sizzle and Saleh,
look at that sandwich guy. That
sandwich
about man.
2 seconds together in life. You know what I mean? Like they know each other from nothing, but they both know the business of pro wrestling. And you give them a chance to lyrically or whatever whoop up on me, and boy, do they both take it and run. And it's more than a pro wrestling company. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's there's such a spirit to this stuff, like, which is what made me, dude. I hadn't watched a WrestleMania since I was 13.
Yeah.
And this last year, since I've been with the company, I'm like so invested because I'm like now I care, now I get it. I'm like each and every one of these guys in DCCW. I'm like, man, I just want to know where they take you.
This is so funny. 2 Scoops and Mexplex they hate each other. Like they just hate each other. So 2 Scoops is like, hey, your matches suck, you suck, your abs suck, your biceps suck. And then,
oh my God.
Sizzle's all the time like, well, at least I'm not from New Mexico. like you have one comeback, but you package it so many different ways. Oh, this is a funny one. So this is a little foreshadowing here from Jay Sizzle. He says he hates that sandwich shop. He means the shop. It's literally called the shop. It's not just sandwiches. They do everything delicious. It's the worst bread ever, and that will come to play here in a little bit. We almost need to do like the commentary too, because it's like Francisco that's a heck of a move there by Mexplex. Because we just rip on Francisco the whole time too. Like we don't.
Oh my god, dude, the refs, the poor refs. I don't think I've ever said anything nice about them.
No,
and I'm
Deserving.
not about to start. I'm not about to start.
Now's
Don't
not
get
the
me
time.
wrong. But you know, out of all the refs, I would say Francisco like is one of them.
Yeah, no, 100% he's one of them. Even like some people that aren't are kind of one of them.
Right.
Okay,
my
so-
son
Yeah.
has a shirt. He's
Yeah,
halfway
sure.
there.
I mean, that's like pretty close.
He's as good as any ref.
Your son only screwed up like one time last time, so that was for him a personal best. He
He goes home and he stews, and he's like, "Nah, I got to show them next time." Bread on arrival. Stupid Joel. That was so dumb. I love that.
Mr. Happy will take a whooping, huh?
Mr. Happy, he's man. He's definitely a. He definitely like gives all his all. Like he gives his body to the his soul, his mind.
Yeah.
But he's one of my favorite performers in this company, man.
I almost wonder if there's something going on with the replay because it looks a little darker than I remember that in live action.
Right.
All right. Oh, so Sizzle's still going. The Mr. Happy is kind of impressed me more than a ton too. So, you know, I'm the licensed promoter for Duke City Championship Wrestling, right? So I have to go to these state athletic commissions every month, these meetings, and they're public meetings, like anyone can go to them. It's a you know, appointed titles within the state. But Mr. Happy shows up to that stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's not just learning the business in the ring; he's learning the business outside the ring. You know, and
right.
You know, and if the day comes when, and it hasn't come yet, I'll be real transparent. We haven't necessarily gone to the talent, to the wrestlers, to the workers, and said, "Hey, what do you guys think about, you know, creating this approach to this storyline? Or what's the best fit, or whatever?" We haven't necessarily dipped our pen in that ink so substantially yet. But Mr. Happy is a guy in a very short professional career that I would go to and say, "How would you trust this finish? How would you trust, you know, this development or growing this thing?" Because he's got a mind for the business. He's like a really clever pro wrestling dude. I can't tell you if he can do math. I can't tell you if he can put a recipe and make food. I can't tell you anything of that nature. But the dude gets pro wrestling.
Oh man, he and I were talking about WWE 2K, and he's like, it's a good training tool because you can figure out what you would do. Hey, you're grappling them from behind or you're from the side, like, and he's like, it lays it out, like what moves. And I was like, man, I would never have thought of that.
Yeah. You want to address this right here?
Oh, you know, there's always chances to see Man High.
Angel Farrell says, our friend from Washington came to see the show in Man High and didn't get to see Man High. This was the first show where Man High didn't perform since Man High started performing.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, you know, we love doing it, and we also have to like think about what's right for the show as well, you know.
Well,
or what
you know,
makes
it's constantly evolving, right? Because that was one of the recommendations from NWA. It was, hey, love the music beforehand, super unique vibe. What if you tried playing recaps of your previous before? You know, it was like, see how the crowd responds to that. And we're like, oh, we're going to play a video over the band. And they were like, take the band off for 1 month. And they were, and I was like, well, hold on. It's not just a band. I was like, Gabe does a ton of stuff with us. Like, he's more than just a musician. And I'm like, and Ray is like, you know, if not the biggest, he's one of the biggest fans that exists in this thing. Oh, there's a good little shot of Izzy right there. But so you and I sat down and we're like, hey, we still got to maximize your time. We got to maximize your value, you know, and we figured out a pretty good plan that you came close on. I mean, obviously didn't do a good job, but came close on.
Yeah, well, you know, we're, you know, and also like we're also always discussing how to make the next ones, you know, bigger and better as well. So, we have some ideas brewing as far as like, you know, with like you said, birthday party or stuff like that. So, obviously, like Man High's involvement in the company, it's always going to be a thing.
Yeah. Ray asked, how many titles does this wrestling company have? First of all, we use our formal name, Duke City Championship Wrestling. And secondly, I would strongly encourage you to show up to the April 24th show if you're excited about developments of titles. That's out. That's a Sizzle. Give me a Sizzle. Set it right. Fred said it.
Yeah.
If you are at the April 24th show at the Historic El Rey Theater, you're going to be the first to know about the number of titles in this company because there's some exciting stuff coming up.
Oh my God! Look at that. The power of Mr. Happy.
Super strong. How many wrestlers? Ray says that's a great question. I'm going to go to DukecityChampionshipWrestling.com. Click on that. I'm going to go over to the roster. I'm on the roster page, so we got Thunder the Champ.
I'm going to take a guess. 25.
8, 16, 32, 33 wrestlers have wrestled
wow.
for Duke City Championship Wrestling. And of those, some of them no longer available to us. Like, for instance, we can't use Jacob Fatu again. He just signed with WWE. Duke City Championship Wrestling just signed with WWE.
I know. I'd like to think that we're kingmakers over here. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. We got 3 referees, got a bunch of production staff, got a bunch of front office guys. So there you go. It's at or near 45 individuals have had at some point a on-screen presence, or well, I guess that would be it because the ProView production guys, there's 5 or 6 of them. We got the merchandise people. We obviously have the security and attendants. We have the bar. We have, I mean, there's a lot, you know. So any show, oh, here's a good finish to this. So Sizzle, who sucks. All right, so Izzy was hecka nervous about the. Hey, before he does, I'm pausing.
Yeah. So I like the way he pulled. I was like, you'd think it was a lead pipe or something.
It was Excalibur.
It was very mafioso. All right, yeah. And
so he pulls it out, and you know, I'm like, hey brother, I've never been a pro wrestler. I've never been in the ring. You know, I've never heard the bell ring. Like from
it's jarring too.
I've never done it, and I said, but here's what I know: everything has to look bigger than what it is. Like everything has to have like that much more exaggeration than you think it has to have. And I was like, so when you pull that thing out, you're not just pulling it out. You're pulling it out and you're showing like everyone on God's green earth. And I go, and when you swing it, you're not swinging for a single or a double. Like you're not even swinging for a home run. You're trying to hit it out the damn park, you know? So it's, there's a lot of that energy. And here we go. Izzy Rivera, owner of the shop, with a little outside, or as I call it,
what a moment. It looks like a brick, dude.
It was 3 days
murdering him with.
He breaks it into nunchucks and chases Jay Sizzle. Now, this is the best part of all the parts. So Sizzle's in the corner in front of the homies.
Oh my God!
And the camera's not perfect, but we get it right here, right?
I'm standing right, so you can see the lights flash. That's me right there in a suit, getting.
And there's so much going on. We talked about this afterwards. So Mr. Happy takes the pop wand from Kyle, shoots it. The timing is perfect going through it. And we didn't have the right TriCaster switch on it and we smartened up production. So they bring it back here in the replay though. And I'm going to assume it makes the TV because I saw it on the replay on the camera when I was doing the broadcast.
So that shot just now, also with Valak, it looked like, in Boondock Saints, they put coins on their eyes. He had little glitter stars.
Oh, how perfect.
Right in his face. That was a great shot. And also the timing.
Yeah, here it is.
Look at that, right through the cloud.
Yeah, just as good of a finish. And Sizzle just running through the back. So funny, dude. There's 6 things going on at once.
And I feel like that's how you make great tag team,
That's all fresh new baguette. Did you bring multiple baguettes? Oh, he
knocked himself out with.
Oh, I missed that. That's the.
He knocked himself out with.
The El Rey Theater is like, hey, next time you do that, can you give us a heads up? Yeah.
Oh, like the spraying the beer everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's still jarred from the stale bread.
Yeah, and Izzy thinks he's out of it now, right? So he's off to the side. Dan Mayfield, everyone.
Oh, yeah. Look at this Dan Mayfield, everybody.
I don't know what's going on here. Another episode of Duke Wrestling in the
I
books.
love.
If you like any of what you saw here today, please take a chance to come see us in person at the historic El Rey Theater. For Sally Taylor, for myself, Red Slow. Good job, everyone. GG.
Dang, dude.
Dude, so
Not a half
good.
bad episode.
I gotta say, like it's if you watch okay, so I think I started with the company back in August. If you watch any episode
Feels
from
like
that show,
forever ago.
dude, 9 months.
All right, go ahead. I'm
Crazy.
sorry.
But if you watch any of those episodes, like compared to where we're at, even like the last month of episodes,
Yeah.
it's only getting like crazier. I really dig the crowd sound.
Yeah.
Because obviously it was WrestleMania weekend. I didn't sit down with the episode this week. Which usually before we do air,
You're a noon
real
on
show.
Saturday guy. The second it goes public, like you're
I
there.
am. I'm usually in the comments,
Oh, this is gay.
Oh, look at that. I love that. That's so
Now-
sweet.
And when
Why?
please don't cancel your boy. Also, when I say gay, I mean like riding a motorcycle loudly.
Right. It's like the South Park definition.
Yeah, here's a question from Bartholomew Bat. Tag team belts? Never heard of them. Couldn't say.
Tag team wait, I hardly know her. I don't know.
So this is a fun blast from the past. Obviously, when we're doing Duke City Championship Wrestling, I'm Fabulous Freddie Fame, the last professional promoter. In the live chat right here is my very good friend Pat Pilger, and Pat and I have been friends since grade school. Became very good friends in high school. Similar to Duke City Championship Wrestling, Pat was a big part of us starting this softball team in my hometown that took everything by storm when we were kids. And if I wouldn't have had that success at that time with merchandising and all kinds of stuff, not as fortunate would I be able to be in the ownership group of Duke City Championship Wrestling with the most banger promotion in the Southwest, and so much fun. And it's all a multitude of the skills and time I spent with people that care about me and I care about them. And Pat Pilger is one of those people. So thank you to he for not just being my friend, my shoot friend, but following me professionally for all these years, because it means
Pat, Fred's paying it forward because he's taken me and he's showing me how to actually do work, So something new to me. I was a guitar player before.
That's all. I knew 4 chords. I could play any 4-chord song you knew. The live chat is asking, are we going to Seattle? Are we going to Washington? We're not. And that's not because we don't want
question.
To. I have ties to Washington. I went to Washington State. Saleh's from Seattle. So there are some absolute ties to the
I know
Great
3
Northwest.
people out there, maybe.
Yeah, handful. But I tell you what, part of the plan for Duke City Championship Wrestling long run, and we got about 13 minutes here before we're too long. But the plan is to create your own pro wrestling diorama for dummies. I am 1 year more experienced than I was when we started this thing a year ago. And could I teach a master class in it? Probably. I could not teach a master class in how to run a pro wrestling promotion. I think I could teach one on how to start one. If there was a organization or a company or a group of individuals that were interested in taking the formula that we have kind of cultivated here and introducing it to another market, not only would we be mildly interested, I think we'd be greatly interested. And I think on the first one, we would do it as a proof of concept. Does what work in Albuquerque? Does it work in the Great Northwest? Does it work in Seattle or Tacoma or Bellevue or Bellingham or any of those cities up there with a really cool populace that do need inside activities because the weather sucks and the people are weird and the homeless are out of control?
Yeah, just like here.
No. Best on earth. Also from the live chat, you're not just a guitar player, you're an okay barber.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. It's like the doctor is always sick. My hair always looks like shit because I'm too busy making everybody else look good.
Sizzle is talking about how every light beer in the house was on the sizzle. That is very much correct. That's such a good spot. The
inside, a great spot. The bread spot.
The whole thing was smart. There was a lot of carbs in that one. And Sizzle came to me. Maybe he called me the day before. Maybe we talk on the phone actually kind of a lot. He's a really smart mind. He's not so dissimilar from me. Radio guy from Colorado. Promotions, he kind of has a mind for the industry. I hung out with this kid at WrestleMania, had a lot of fun hanging out with him too.
That was his kid.
Yeah. So
nice,
that was it was a super special thing for us. And I had some passes to WrestleMania World and they give me like some swag and stuff. So it was a cool thing. But anyways, long story short, he comes to me and he says, hey, I want to do a spot with the homies. This is the idea. Is this thing feasible? And I go, you know this business better than I do, big dog. Like no one needs to ask me for permission on anything. You just need to smarten me up. Like I'm learning as much as everyone else is trying to teach here, and how fortunate it is. This is a weird sentence. You want to read it out loud, Gabe?
All work aside, Fred is a genuine gentleman. That's how you know he doesn't know you.
Yeah,
and I can't thank for the love he showed Steel City, my family, all the shit he talks about. I see, bro. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know what Gracias por Todos Hermano is.
Thank you for everything, brother.
How do you know that?
Because I'm a half a Mexican. I'm the halfest Mex.
This promotion brought wrestling back to New Mexico and has started individuals like myself on new journeys and career paths, game change. That's that's really fun. That's a fun.
That's our own Kevin Hoover.
Yeah. So one, and Kevin's interesting because I guess it would have been our first show. So Kevin came to me. He was just in attendance. He was like in shoot attendance, and he was like, "Hey, I got some experience in promotions in Oklahoma." And I go, "Oh, I don't slum. I don't Oklahoma. That's barely okay."
You mean Diet Texas?
Yeah,
it's the less racist Texas.
I own land and a gun. I'm an Oklahoman. So I was like, not interested. And then he's like, no, legitimately. He's like, I can build a ring with my eyes closed. I can help you set up. He's like, I'll find my expertise, with this thing if you're interested. And so, well, what do you know about audio video, big dog? He goes, I know enough to learn it. And I'm like, let's go. Like that energy, So Kevin did that, and Kevin is as vital to anyone here. I would appreciate if Kevin stopped giving away ringside tickets to girls he meets at the bar. But that's a conversation for another time. Kevin, off the air. Kevin. But I mean, like I said, all that stuff is because of him. And he takes the wrestlers to the side and he's like, hey, when do you want me to hit this? How do you want this thing to go? Do you need your gear left out by the ring? Do you need to get it? Is there any accessory we have? He works with Bridget, the lighting girl, and he's like, hey, this thing's gonna happen this, but he's the headphone guy in the back. He's the breaker on the breaker on the lights. And you're like, what? Breaker?
Dude, the show kind of lives and dies by his hand. You know what I mean? He has such a major role in doing everything.
Yeah. This part here is too good. This is what happens, Kevin. This is what happens. This is what
Angel was the first one to buy the Macho Man High shirt.
And last one, I think you just sold one of one. The Macho Man. One of one.
Yeah. Yeah, we still have a few of those. We'll do it. We'll lay them out at the next show.
It's too funny. We would not be served if we didn't do a big ask. We do it every time. If you're a fan of Duke City Championship Wrestling, you have interest in being a part of Duke City Championship Wrestling, Duke City ChampionshipWrestling.com. The promotions tab is right there. Click on that if you're interested in a partnership. We got a bunch of options for a bunch of people. And we had a bunch of new partners last one. Like we said, the shop came in. That was a big deal. You brought over Amador Law. Amador Law, we're going to start a big push with them next month, which is just 2 weeks away. But Amador Law, which you know personally for some reasons. Just Rafael Amador is a tremendous guy. So now there's an official lawyer of Duke City Championship Wrestling. So we're excited about that partnership. We got some new ones coming in as well. So those will also go super good.
Yeah, and it makes me excited. Except I want you guys to get your legal questions ready. Yeah, because he and I are going to do an episode, and if you have any kind of legal stuff going on, yeah, we're gonna sit down with just like here. It's gonna be like a special real show, and we're gonna start featuring our sponsors a little bit. So I want to kind of talk to them about how they started their businesses, and what we can discuss what they bring to the community. So I'm really excited about that.
The one I have, which I won't be a part of the episode, but I always take that stuff in, is I need to know a little bit about gimmick law. I need to know a little bit about trade names. I need to know a little bit about intellectual properties, because Duke City Championship Wrestling, we're trademarked. We're a trademarked like imagery. We're a trademark promotion. Like, we own that. Like, and the government's aware that we own that. But like Fabulous Freddie Fame, is Is that owned by anyone? Is the People's Person owned by anyone? Is Last Professional Promoter owned by anyone? Mr. Happy spelled Mister. Is that owned by anyone? So those are a lot of those kind of questions that I would have, just from my perspective on law.
Yeah.
So if it's something of that nature or something more severe, like Raphael's the guy. He's the guy.
Absolutely.
Gabe, we're going to need your help on this one.
I should have known Fred couldn't read. What's hard to read about your shit, Sizzle, is that you capitalize so much shit.
He capitalizes every word. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I should have known Fred couldn't read. He's legit slow.
Fred's slow.
Yeah. But
starts a sentence with but, no
something.
semicolon. Yeah.
Do you talk into your phone to comment on things? Give him something to look at and wonder what the hell he's looking at. Wow, Gabe, can you explain this to Fred? Did you sit on the microphone button and just you're yelling at your screen?
There's not a single period in this paragraph.
Fred, the Sizzle is not the voice for no reason. Long-winded, long-scripted. Can't believe you were dumb enough to read this whole damn thing. Damn it!
Ha! Idiot!
Hashtag Gabe read it. Sizzle said it. Gabe read it. Oh, damn it!
I don't like this. Friend of the show and the meme master, the rugby meme master Joel Lewevino says he owns Fred Slow trademark.
Which I do want to buy one of his Albuquerque Aardvarks jerseys because they're sick.
Yeah, they are sick. Also, I know there's gonna be a lot of Aardvarks in attendance at our next show because we got a real fun debut from the world of rugby. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's gonna be a special thing. Yep, the trolling segment of the show is absolutely correct. A big thank you to everyone who was in attendance of the show. The live interactions mean a lot to us. We're so very appreciative. I don't know if there's another way to say that. We don't deserve the amount of attention that the audience and fan base of Duke City Championship Wrestling allows us to have. The fellowship here is as palpable as anything in my 20-year radio career, including my friend Pat, who showed up. It's
absolutely.
It is just tremendous. Also, this is a nice thing because we don't usually hear nice things about you. Tony does have you looking great because you were a fathead. You were Gabe's fathead.
Oh, dude! It whenever I've gotten fat, it starts here, and then it goes here, and it's just I have a really round head, and so it's nice to see it not looking so round.
Yeah, you and I had lunch. We had lunch together today because I had to deliver you a performance improvement plan due to your poor performance at work, and I noticed you really churched it up. I think I said, "quote You don't look like shit today." How surprising!
Right, yeah. But you really drove home the point. You're like, man, because usually just so shitty. You look just terrible. You're like you just decided not to look. Just so awful, and it was inspiring. It was inspiring.
The live chat's asking for more man high. That's not going to happen. That's not a thing. Maybe some man high, more no, some possibility,
some
more.
Yeah,
no.
Well, we got to find the balance of man high to DCCW, like the ratio.
Solly Taylor asks who's coming to Las Cruces. Duke City Championship Wrestling is May the 5th. That's Cinco de Mayo. We're doing Cinco de Slamo. That's going to be Sunday night at the Amador Live. No relation to Amador Law. And that is going to be a banger of an evening. We got pro wrestling scheduled and planned all night long. We're going to get super weird on a super fun holiday. We're excited for those. Tickets as low as $20. Ringside tables and seating go for, I think it's $100 a table. So that's only $25 to be right up there next to the action per person. Just a ton of fun life and a ton of fun pro wrestling. So you can come and be a part of that at the Amador Live. That's May the 5th. And then we book in the month with wrestling as well. So we're going to start the month with wrestling. We're going to end the month with wrestling. And it is the 1-year anniversary of Duke City Championship Wrestling in May. So we're super excited about that.
And it's going to be, what an event that's going to be.
So Ray asked a question. Any Mexican wrestlers at the that's a big part of the show. So we're doing a lot of luchador stuff, and that's part of the celebrating Cinco de Mayo. My white ass and Gabe's kind of Hispanic,
half white. Yeah.
Latina. Is that what you said you were, a Latina?
Latinx? Oh, no, I'm joking. I hate that. I hate that term.
Yeah,
But yeah. No, actually, I was born in El Paso, Texas. So it's
as a woman,
as a woman, yeah, it's
Yeah.
Gabrielle.
That's a big part of it.
Gabe, it's good to see you doing well, my friend.
We are at our 1 hour mark, and that's as long as I'm willing to hang out with you, Gabe. Final words before we cut this real show short.
I want everybody to know we went to lunch too. So,
God, dude, we went to the 60 Diner. It was so good.
So good. Dude, I had liver and onions. Who does that?
I had a chef salad and chocolate. What was that pie?
Chocolate cream pie.
Oh, it was so good. Like,
it was so good.
Go to the 66 Diner.
It was so good. So I went home and Googled that, and there was not any baked goods. Anyway.
For Gabe Gambino, for everyone and all the fellowship in the live chat, thank you so very much. I, of course, am fabulous Freddie fame.